Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
And I'm Skulk the Hulkin.
That's normal. Hey there, Skulk. How are you?
How's it going, Keith? Thank you so much for having me on, man.
I'll thank you for your time. Steve Pasheka. And
Yes.
when I hear your pseudonym, Skulk the Hulking, I of course hear a lot of the word Hulk in that. Uh, Especially with the if you see this on YouTube, the what do you call the beard with the handlebars? That's
Handlebar? Yeah,
okay.
handlebar mustache. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
it's imposing. Is that fair to say?
It is. It is. I've always been someone who enjoyed facial hair. Like the moment I could grow it, I always was messing with it, trying to figure out what I could do. And then one day I woke up and shaved this, and that was what now 19 years ago, I think, and it's just stuck.
I saw this. I'll get to this project that I watched that you did. The many incessant lives and subsequent deaths deserved of Skulk the Hulking that rolls off the tongue.
It very yeah.
And it came from, but you went by Skulk, not just this project we're going to talk about. You went by it for a while, whether it was comedy or it was music. And by the way, how do you describe the music? Punk. It's heavy. I love it.
It's thank you. The music's very a mix. I usually call it a mix of punk and hip hop with political overtones,
Yes.
you
Oh,
know.
definitely. Overtones, sure. Um, Not undertones. What made you pick the name Skulk in the first place as a name?
Uh I was just looking, it kind of came up around when the music started, and I had moved to New York, and I had just moved to New York. I moved out to New York to do comedy actually, and I got 3 months into stand up, and I was like, I kind of hate the stand up scene out here. And I always wanted to do music, and I
Why?
was like,
Why
man,
so? I mean, I could think of why, but why?
yeah, it's a very impersonal. It's got a lot of douches in it, let's be
Okay,
honest.
right, sure.
You know, it's a very, I don't know. I come from Chicago, which the stand-up scene doesn't really exist there, you
Okay,
know. Um there is a stand-up scene, but you really can't do it from there for
gotcha.
sure. And
There's the one main club, right?
yeah,
So,
exactly. You got
yeah,
Zanies,
yeah.
and that's where you want to play. And I was already playing Zanies, and headliners were like, "Hey, man, if you want to do this for real, I think you should. You got to choose a coast and get out
And
there."
what's
And
better? And also, what is better than music? The crowd is jumping around. You know,
exactly,
they can't fall asleep on you,
exactly,
literally.
especially with my music.
Right, right. No, you're up and you're fucking moving. Let me say some things to the audience real quick, and then we'll get to
Yeah.
you specifically if you don't mind. First up, the world needs to know: the New York Times called me, Keith Malley, a fucking genius in that I got Wordle in one, in
Yeah.
one. And then
I
you got
mean,
these people that are like, no, two is what it matter. One's luck. Hey, whatever. I'm a genius, it says, and I got it in one. You weren't.
I mean, that is a day. That is
Thank
a
you.
day.
I
Congratulations.
Thank you. Here's how it happened. I think this still counts. But I
Mhm.
wake up, I scroll through Twitter to see what's trending. And I saw and then it came up it said Wordle and somebody was holding a handheld firework. And I'm like, "Well, let me get off of this. I think that's going to give something away." And I'm like, "Well, in my day we called it sparklers. I started with Spark and it won." I think that counts as genius and I'm very impressed and it's going to be a great spring.
I actually think that's better than if you just had guessed a random word because you used your
I also used my
cognitive
brain, right?
abilities. Yeah,
Right.
you know?
Thank you, my
I
friend.
like
Thank
it.
you.
I like it.
Last show we did, we were talking with the sexy poker champion, Kenneth James. And then on Wednesday, I played Keith and the Girl Poker at keithandthegirl.com/chat. And it did not help me, his little hints, but I don't think I disciplined it the right way, to be honest. Justin won. But also, there's other questions I wanted to ask this poker champion who made easily over, what, 4 million, he was saying.
Wow.
But here's some questions my friend Adam told me to ask, and I got the questions too late. Do deuces actually never loses? That would have been good to know. I'm hard right now in my bluffing. I'm not sure if that would have helped me. When you take a dump, do you drop a king deuce? I don't know if that's really a question. I think he was fucking around. He had a list some time ago. The listener might remember of names he called his dick, and my favorite one was Bushwick. But here's a real question: do you ever offer opponents Oreos at the table to get tells? I wish I would have missed
Oh,
that one.
a nice reference to Rounders.
That's right. Anyway, happy spring. Here comes
Yes.
the sun. Do 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 do. How did you celebrate today?
Is today the official first
It
day of
was the
spring?
first day of spring, my friend.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
clearly I did not
I
celebrate
see
it. I
that.
celebrated by having a normal day of going to work and then coming to talk to your lovely self.
My girlfriend's daughter did some kind of presentation singing. 8 years old, so
Hmm.
you didn't don't worry about
Fair.
not getting tickets. But they one of the songs they sung was "Here Comes the Sun," and I wasn't there. I'm in New York. They're in Charlotte, but so I'm playing "Here Comes the Sun" on my phone, and of course I knew the Beatles song before. But I'm here, little darling. It's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since you've been here. Do you notice yet? If I heard that song before, which I have, I never really cared for that shit. But I loved Come Together, Back in the USSR, Helter Skelter, Happiness is a Warm Gun, You Never Give Me Your Money, and all that collection.
Hmm.
But now that I'm in love, I'm like, yeah, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. It's been years since it's been here. I don't think he's talking about the weather. And I'm like, so it's just funny how songs hit you different. I know that sounds silly and stupid, but I'm
No,
like,
that makes
that's
perfect
good.
sense. Songs, different parts of your life definitely
Yeah.
affect how you hear a song.
I'm like, you know what, baby? You can drive my car. You know? So Skulk has a video podcast that's going to come out on March 27th.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You worked on it during the pandemic.
Yes.
Skulk the Hulking is unique in that it uses AI to generate the visual component. Narration, sound design, and music are all Steve. And it leverages AI's idiosyncrasies as a visual style to further the plot. First of all, you sent me some ahead of time, and
Yeah.
thank you. I started watching some, and I have plenty to ask you. Don't get me wrong, but I
Yeah. Yeah.
stopped because I want to watch it with my girlfriend. I think this is very interesting, very unique. And tell me if I'm following this right.
Hmm.
It's about this dude Skulk, and he seems like an oaf, but he's just a regular dude. It sounds like I'm being tricked so far, and it's really us humans.
Yeah.
And he keeps dying in different ways. Whether so far he's standing up for somebody's rights, he dies, he gets built back together from the earth somehow. There's plastic in the sea that makes these giant sea crabs. And next thing you know, this guy gets killed again. He keeps coming back to be smarter and smarter, but I can't tell yet if he's learning a lesson or not because the only time he learns is as he's being rebuilt and he's being rebuilt from the earth. It doesn't make sense so far, but his heart could be built first. Sometimes it's his brain, but maybe you don't want to know feelings yet. You just want to be born with the heart. Next thing you know, sometimes the dick is last. It's a hot dog that was found on the ground. It's pretty fucking clever so far. Um, I'm digging it. And then at the end, so it's all this AI stuff that I want to get into.
Yeah.
And then at the
Hmm.
end, this creepy, like it's just images of AI. And at the end, this creepy shit that morphs while you do your music. And the
Right.
music is great. Um, but man, that creepy shit, it's made to like
It's
crawl under your skin, and it does. And I know I'm just describing it, but people, you know what this is like. You see lately on the phone, people make these AIs where you're just looking at a window, then you see a guy staring in the window, then the guy comes almost three fucking D, and I move my phone back like 3 inches, like what the fuck? Like I have room to run.
indeed.
That's some crazy shit. So your buddy does the AI stuff, right?
No, no, no. I do
You do
the
that
like
too.
I'm doing it. Yeah, yeah. Through Mid Journey, and then the Mid Journey is all the stills, and the actual like overlay of AI is
Okay.
using Video Leap.
Okay, so
Uh,
there's the AI stuff that, and of course, to be clear, like we said, the narration, you narrate it, that's all
yeah,
you, of
yeah,
course, meaning the ideas, etc.
yeah,
And I'm really asking, how do we feel about AI? First of all, I don't like that when it comes to not your shit, but
yeah, yeah,
what people acting like something's real. When I saw Tom Cruise laughing playing guitar, I'm like, I don't even think this is cute. This is going to
yeah,
turn into something bad. We already don't know what's real and what's not real, you know?
yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
but of course, why not have fun with it? But is it stealing other people's work?
So I think it's a valid question, and I think we are in the we're at the beginning of it all, and it's
Right.
partially what drew me to it. Because how can you comment on it if you're not familiar with it?
Sure.
You know, uh, I think AI versus AI in art are two very different things. I don't think there's any question that AI can is already doing wonderful things, like in medicine,
I
in
agree.
things of that nature.
Right.
Uh, AI in art already has existed for a long time. A lot of CGI is actual AI work, and
Okay.
it's been for a long time, like the Marvel movies and stuff like that. So I find it interesting how much we argue over how it's used
But
when
but the difference seems to me that no pun, the Incredible Hulk, they make him, then they make him running through something. That's not grabbing, just
for
putting in a
sure
prompt.
where I'm trying to figure out and question is where so how do we come up with our own ideas? Do we not, like, when an artist learns how to paint, do they not go to a university and recreate a bunch of styles of past artists and use that to help them understand how this brushstroke
You're
works or
saying
how
it's like
this does?
if I do stand up, well, obviously I have influences.
Exactly. We all have influences. Now, if AI is, I think there should be regulations of how it's used. It should not exactly copy something. It should not be used to defame or, I
Right.
think there are regulations needed on it. And I
Do you
mean
think
these are
like
social regulations I'd be talking about.
in this right now where I'm at, the Earth, everybody's fighting. They don't know what they're fighting for. Hello, we get it.
Yeah.
And the world burns, and the Earth corrects it by killing millions of people, but people are still around.
Yeah,
Hello.
exactly.
Um, but when you have like, let's say, a picture of a horse, can somebody go, "That's my horse"?
So yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a fair,
Right.
question. It is a gray area, and I, I believe that at the end of the day, art is the meaning behind what's created. And if there's meaning behind something that's using AI to create it, then it is valid. If like is AI possibly going to take away the job of the person at a con doing drawings of already created Marvel heroes?
Not,
Possibly.
but not even. But at a con sounds frivolous. But an artist that's making fresh stuff, trying to scrape money for
For
creating art.
sure. And that's yeah. And that is definitely something that needs to be looked at and considered.
Right.
Uh but I mean also how the problem with AI is we don't know how and why it pulls from where it does. That's the
Hmm.
whole that's how artificial intelligence works. These models it's something I don't necessarily have answer.
Right.
It's partially why I created this project and why I leaned into the AI aspect. I want to know, and I want people to see because I don't see a lot of AI artwork out there that has meaning behind it.
Agree.
I don't see a ton right now. So I wanted to put something that has a bunch of meaning, a bunch of care, and still
Right.
use the tool as a tool. And let's all decide together. Maybe the decision is no, it's not.
Right.
You know,
The
but
public
we
will let you
have to
know on YouTube. You know what I mean? They'll tell
100%
you.
let me know on YouTube. Oh, I'm sure they will.
There'll be no problem there. I was watching it, and there's like a city that people are regulated to, but of course, the fighting and violence on Earth keeps going until at one point, people agree that there's a god that lives on top of this mountain of trash, and it starts telling people how to live, how to work, what times you're regulated to find pleasure, this kind of thing. You're not religious, I assume. You know it's a joke, I'm guessing.
No, I'm not. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
Okay.
not. I'm not really. I grew up in in the church, I guess. I was an
Catholic?
altar boy actually, yeah,
I was
for
too,
a
yeah.
little bit, yeah. Um, I have nothing against
Oh,
religion,
I do.
and I think that's fair. And I think it has caused a lot of issues. I think I think again, religion, I think something that I found while having this internal debate about AI
Right,
is that a lot of things are tools, and tools can be misused or can be used for good, you know?
right.
And I think religion does have a chance at being used for good. It could calm people about nothing
Do you
being
think without church,
afterlife.
if we never had church, we'd have potlucks and people would still find something? Maybe
We
less
probably
wars.
would.
Maybe.
Yes, it's possible.
Maybe
I
less kid fucking
certainly
in
believe
wars.
it's.
Maybe. I'm just throwing that out there.
Look, it's fair, but I mean, look at how many wars we have now, and I would argue most people's belief in any religion is for show more than anything or out of
Right,
fear these days. I don't think
right.
many people believe what they say they believe
Oh, I
these
agree with that. Of course. I mean, I knew that as a kid when I was a waiter, and the worst customers came straight from church to our brunch.
days. I'm sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I saw this online. I thought it was funny. Picture being a caveman and you're being dragged to hell because you didn't follow a religion that was made 3,000 years after you died. That's a bummer, right?
Solid, yeah. Well, according to Dante's Inferno, those people are stuck in limbo forever.
Oh, that's the Dead Sea Scrolls. March 27th will be the first 5 episodes. Then again, April 10th for five. One, two, three, four,
Four
five.
of them,
Right,
yeah,
four, excuse me. And then
yeah.
April 24th for the final
The
three.
last three, yeah.
It, when I create something, then I
Mhm.
realize there's got to be a plan to market it, etc. Is it driving you crazy sitting on all these?
It is killing me,
Yeah,
man. It really like the moment I was done with it, I'm like, I'm ready to just throw this out there, and then I
right,
went into, trying to get some PR for it and that, and I've
right,
been sitting on it for longer than from now until then. So
right,
it does kill, but I do understand it is helpful. People like
right,
seeing things in chunks, and it does having it come out slowly helps people both process it, but also helps promote it, you know.
right.
It's
When
it's part of the game.
when we'd all rather have peace, but when Tesla trucks are being burnt, for example, and you think about what you created, do you go, that kind of fits nice?
I mean, I can't honestly, one of the craziest things to me is one of the first songs I wrote as Skulk was the song Cancer, which is one of the songs on this, and it's about, Nazi coming up in
Right,
America. And when I wrote it back then, I was like, am I being a little alarmist, And like,
right,
am I just being a little over the top? And now, like, I'm like, oh my God, like,
right. If
Jesus.
anything, I downplayed it.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Right.
I should have been screaming louder,
Don't burn Tesla cars. Meanwhile, if you ask me, I call it the other side. You can shoot up cases of Bud Light. Okay, everybody pretends their side is. Whoa, what? Oh, okay. So everybody's a snowflake or whatever dumb shit you want to
Yeah,
say.
we all are very much so in
Uh,
all our aspects.
Speaking of Nazis, Elon Musk tweeting out in the past, "Civil war is brewing," and then again, "Civil war is inevitable." This is something this guy fucking wants, and it doesn't kill me to see these trucks on fire. There, I said it.
I mean, I don't hate it. I
I don't hate
mean,
it.
even during COVID, man, when people were burning targets or whatever, I
Yeah,
was like, it's fine. It's a company. They'll recoup the loss. No one was harmed.
Tesla recalled 46,000 Cybertrucks
Really?
just recently. And I know car companies recall shit, but what's funny to me about that, it's not like an engine or something. It's the outside that's glued on is causing damage. The Cybertruck, like you look at it, you would think that's something from Black Mirror, right? That robot
Yeah. Oh,
dog.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, this apparently this thing fucking dents like a tin can.
That is one of my favorite all-time moments of Elon Musk when he threw the rock at the window saying the
Yeah.
window was bulletproof and
Oh,
it instantly shattered.
he took a mallet and hit the window and it shattered.
Yeah.
He's like, oh fuck. Do I try the second window? Like you
Yeah. Yeah.
set your own
Just
car on fire. Uh, Kanye West says he's putting out music, and he showed the cover, and the cover is a all black cover with a red swastika on it. No exaggeration, just that.
Hmm.
My friend Adam brought up like it's just a shame he's black and he can't shock everybody by saying the N-word. What if the music's
Fair
good?
point.
Like, it's just funny how when you go so far right, like a Kid Rock or anybody, and I did like Balwin a lot,
Yeah, yeah,
but
me too.
how come when these people get so fucking political, their music's never good? Like, there's no way this is gonna be my dark twisted fantasy. This is gonna be shitty, even if you look past the swastika. I just know it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Kanye's in need of some help right now. I
I
think
guess, but at a certain point,
there's no one telling him no. I feel like,
right?
and
Like the president, his
yeah,
buddy.
well, yes, yes.
He's
I don't
been in
know.
that
It's so
Oval
weird because
Office.
I think Kanye actual beat writing is some of the best beat. Like I think
Agree.
he was the next Timbaland. Like Timbaland ruled the 90s, and
Right.
I think Kanye picked up where he left off. And but he lyrically started getting so bad. And it hurts
What's
to say because I'm a Chicago boy originally.
I loved him. I thought he was great. When I found out that he was making Jay-Z beats, I'm like, putting it all together, I think he's better than
Yeah.
Jay-Z. Then,
Yeah.
ironically, and I say ironically because you're doing Nazi albums now, he did that gospel shit, which is good on
Yeah.
one listen, but nothing you'd ever re-listen to. But yeah, it just that's an extreme
Are you
motherfucker.
talking about Life of Pablo,
Life of
the album?
Pablo, I didn't like, but I'm
Yeah.
thinking like he had two like EPs from
Yeah,
with his
yeah,
French
yeah.
group.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
shit.
Though you know what's funny is that Life of Pablo album has my favorite Kanye song on it.
What's that?
FML.
Okay.
I think it's the most honest Kanye has ever been. And it's just him talking about how he's fucked up his life and how it hurts him. And I actually think, and he did the smartest thing. He had a different person sing the chorus so that it had a little gravitas,
Yes.
I love that song. I
It's
think it's a
just a shame.
very weird
Yeah.
beat, but
Do you
it,
I was Jojo Rabbit is a movie I loved. Have you seen this?
mhm. Yes, I have.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, yeah, I can never say his name.
I think it's great. My brother was watching it virtually. I started watching it in parts with him, and it's so fucking good. I realized that maybe I knew this. I love Nazi movies, and not documentaries, but Schindler's List, The
Movies, yeah.
Pianist, Life is Beautiful, Downfall. By the way, if you go to keithandthegirl.com/dad, you'll see the Adolf Hitler video. It's taken from there where my dad's trying to sell his book and hit on my ex-wife, but it's Hitler realizing it's his fault. Defiance. I loved Valkyrie with Tom Cruise. You're thinking Tom Cruise, how good, how real can
Yep,
it be? You know what I mean? It was
yep, yep.
fantastic. X-Men First Class, of course. Yeah, I get into these. It's so disgusting. It's so disgusting. It's so
It is.
disgusting, and people are acting like it's not. Like what? Like
It's
I've said this before, but you're supposed to sit down with a fucking Nazi now. It's not like you came halfway through into Schindler's List and be like, "Hey, sorry I'm late. Who are the bad guys? Oh, the one with the skulls on their hats? Are those the okay? Okay. Sorry, I didn't want to assume. We're all people.
yeah.
We
It lets you
that
just enjoy it as it
yeah.
is.
Right, right. Right. Um
No,
I was gonna say, like, we can't even agree on Luigi Mangione, who shot the CEO shooter.
yeah.
Everybody can't agree on shit.
I think that's the thing we actually most agree on.
It seems right.
I don't think anyone, besides CEOs feels differently about him.
A mysterious donor gave $36,500 earlier this week, topping the previous record last week of $30,000 to his defense fund. He has a total of $722,000 of this recording. What intrigues
Wow.
me about the case, says the benefactor in private, being anonymous, is how unified folks are regardless of strata, regardless of, wealth or class.
Yeah.
That's
It's wild.
interesting. Yeah.
Is the case over? Is it still going?
No,
I kind
I
of
don't
like
think it
it's.
happened yet. It didn't happen yet. It would have found me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No.
When I'm scrolling through Twitter, I see somebody write, "Fuck you guys," posting that picture of Tracy Morgan. Tracy Morgan threw up at a basketball game
Yeah, I saw
courtside.
that.
He's been battling health problems, has some decency, and I'm like, all right, Billard Levert, let me look up this picture now. Thank you. This fakeness that you're alluding to, right? Like, sorry, guy, I saw it, but you don't need to. It was I remember there was the celebrity hack, and there were pictures of Jennifer. What's her name? The
Aniston?
Jennifer. Well, who'd you say?
Aniston or Lawrence?
No,
No.
younger. She was in X-Men actually. A real actress though. She was in the Hunger Games.
Yeah,
Um,
Lawrence, right? Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence, thank you. Yes. Anyway, they, real reporters would be like, and don't support this kind of thing. And it's not a big deal anyway. She has one leg on a couch, the other leg on a chair, and she's showing her vagina. You've never seen a vagina before? And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'm a journalist too. It's just I can't believe you guys wrote about Tracy Morgan. No, but you had to. By the way, Tracy Morgan revealed he was hospitalized for food poisoning. Yeah, I've had that kind of food poisoning before. After he threw up on the floor while sitting outside of Madison Square Garden for the Knicks Heat game on Monday. Thank you for all your concern. I'm doing okay now, and doctors say it was food poisoning. More importantly, Madison Square Garden's like, is he going to sue us? How about you say you ate outside food poisoning? Next time he goes to a game, does he get the shitty hot dog and popcorn? And they're like, are you sure?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, I got a feeling I'll be
you
okay today. Just a feeling. More importantly, he says the Knicks are now 1-0 when I threw up on the court, so maybe I'll have to break it out again in the playoffs. The Knicks won 116-95 against the Heat. After Morgan's illness delayed, him throwing up delayed the game 10 minutes. We hope Tracy feels better soon and look forward to seeing him back courtside, said Madison Square Garden. But again, we'd rather he bring in his own food. We didn't do shit. Morgan has struggled with several health issues in the past, including a battle with diabetes that had him taking type 2 diabetes drug Ozempic to help him with weight loss. He also underwent a kidney transplant in 2010. Of course, sustained severe injuries in that car crash back in 2014 when he was in a coma.
Yep, yep.
All right, good. Well, careful what you eat there, because that's a
Yeah.
lot of food coming out.
The thing that's funny to me though is if that was just a fan, he would have been like pulled out by security and like dragged to the curb and thrown down.
Tracy would have roasted him if it was a fan that did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Shut together, however he talks. Speaking about the president, I heard this little clip. This is Laura Ingraham is interviewing him. This is on Fox News, meaning you're on the side that's going to take it easy. Okay.
Yep.
So she goes, "Hey, Barron Trump? What are we looking for him when it comes to politics?" Here's what Trump says about his genius son.
Is Barron's aptitude, in your view, business or politics?
Maybe technology. He can look at a computer. I tried turning off his car, turn it off. I turn off his laptop. I said, oh, good. Now, and I go back 5 minutes later, he's got his laptop. I said, how'd you do that? None of your business, Dad. No, he's got an unbelievable aptitude in technology.
I want to laugh. But it
Right.
It hurts so
It
much.
hurts.
Why? How is that our president?
I turned off his computer, right? Check his shit out. Because I don't want him on it. I don't know why. He's a grown adult in college. But anyways, I turned it off. Guess what this motherfucker's able to do? He turns it on. I'm like, how'd you do that? He goes, don't worry about it.
Is Barron's aptitude, in your view, business or politics?
Maybe technology. He can look at a computer. I tried turning off his car, turn it off. I turn off his laptop.
His laptop. Not many people know it's called a laptop. It's called a laptop because think about it. It's a computer on your lap. Isn't that clever? Not many people know that.
I said, oh, good. Now, and I go back 5 minutes later, he's got his laptop. I said, how'd you do that? None of your business, Dad. No, he's got an unbelievable aptitude in technology.
I'm like, turn off your fucking dweeby laptop and go into women's locker rooms. Come on. And he's like, don't worry about it, Dad. I can turn it on myself.
It's only hard-hitting reporting happening these days, You
might have heard this. Laura Ingram's no genius herself. This was some time ago when she had a guest on, and they were talking about being woke and caring if we should have measles or not, apparently. And so this guy brings up the TV show You, Y-O-U.
I was watching an episode of You where measles came up.
Wait. When did I mention measles?
I don't know. It was on You.
Wait, what was on me?
Okay. So first of all, you know these people where it's like, what? I'm like, then you misheard. Calm the fuck down, and we'll solve this. What are you talking about me? Well, I don't know. I'm smart enough for your TV show, so I must be making a little sense. Let's work together.
I was watching an episode of you where measles came up.
Wait. When did I mention measles?
I don't know. It was on you.
Wait, what was on me? What are you talking about? Right? Is
the measles
hearing what
and
I'm
the
saying?
vaccine
I never had the measles.
was on you.
We never did a measles and vaccine episode.
We don't recognize measles here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was on you. It was on you.
I've never had measles. What are you talking about? This is stupid.
It was an episode of a show, Laura.
What's it called?
You.
What is he talking about?
It's called You.
I've never done a show on measles. I just completely give up. We got to get
It's a show
I give up.
called You on Netflix.
There's a show called Luring on Netflix.
I'm moving on to Adele. I can't explain this to you. The pop singer.
I was about to blame Raymond for it because there comes a point where you have to be like, it's a show.
Right.
But he clearly
Yes.
went above and beyond at the
No,
end.
the player's name on first base is like she's
It
really not
totally
trying.
was that.
Yeah.
It was 100% Abbott and Costello.
Did you see, by the way, our king get hit in the mouth with a microphone by accident?
No. Oh, no.
He's about to get on the Air Force One, and people are asking him a question about Gaza. Somebody with one of those long mics accidentally bumps his mouth, and he gives this fucking look. Like, where he's debating, like, do I just ask if he can be executed right now? No. Play it cool. You're the boss. The boss has to be cool. I'll just say, sorry, I don't have time for questions to get on the airplane and look into executing him that way. He really does give this look like, I can have him killed, I think, right? No? Anyway.
That's year 2 that he'll be able to do
Right.
that.
So I understand whatever this means, this number, 80,000 files of the JFK assassination has been is public, I guess. Who cares? Who's going to read 80,000 whatever the fuck? The worst thing, speaking about, like, you have this information, you have your art, and you want to put it out right away. This was that WikiLeaks problem. He goes, here's 6 billion files. And I'm like, how can I read that? Give me 10 and blow my fucking mind. No pun, JFK. God damn.
Yeah, it is a lot for
Sum
sure.
it up. Yeah.
And I mean, man, our education system has been hurting us for a while. So, like, even 10 sounds like a lot at this
right. Well, luckily, we just got rid of the education system, so we don't got to worry about that either.
Yay.
No, sum it up. I saw did you see the Rust documentary? I forget what it's on, but
no.
Oh, it's good. Some things you think from the news, and then if this fascinates you, the Alec Baldwin shooting, the actual shooting of a cinematographer. It's an hour and a half, short and sweet, and they cover everything, and there's no stupid reenactments or anything like this, and they have so much footage because it's a movie set A, and somehow they got hold of all the cops, body cams.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty fucking good, and.
Keith, somehow, how often in this world have we been somehow able to get rid of cops' body cams?
Right. And somehow they got them all. Fascinating. Because the cops didn't do nothing bad. They just showed up on set, so it's easy to get. You actually just ask. Yeah. You don't have to thank them.
Yeah.
And I'll get into it, but seeing Alec Baldwin, and you know of him, and he's an actor, he's a good actor, he happens to be in movies playing assholes. Why was he so good in 30 Rock as that character? Why was he so good in Glengarry Glen Ross? Why was he so good in that movie Malice, where he goes, do I think I'm, am I playing God when I'm in that surgery room? I am God. I'm like, yeah, and you really delivered that line well. Oh, okay, whatever, you're an actor, whatever. And, and then you see him, like, he's walking around the streets of New York City with a sheet over his head, acting like the paparazzi can't leave him alone. I get it. They can't. But what is this? Like, why do you? So when they go, hey, how did this happen? She got shot with live ammo. And he's like, and in the interrogation room, it makes you wonder, he says. How did the ammo get there? And it just feels like he's like trying to trick the cop. Like, don't look at me. And if I pull the trigger, think about this idea. Like, he's high on himself, right?
Yeah,
regardless.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And I know he's in shock, but at the same time, it's so fucking weird. He was and what's weird too, is that let's say the shooting is completely accidental. You know, you have these people being like online, you don't point a gun at somebody unless you intend to lead, and then you see what's going on. You give your kids still in the gun and going to school. Like anytime you rate on social media about gun safety, if your kid or you get in trouble for not gun safety, you get extra points. You get extra damage, extra time for your bullshit acting like everybody has a gun, but in another locker they keep their bullets. Okay, then what's the fucking point of a home invasion, you dumb fuck liar? Yeah. But it was weird to me. So let's say it's an accident. It's weird to me that he started doing public things right away, that he started doing SNL right away. To me, accident or not, that's a slap in the face and doesn't feel so important. So I picture like he does SNL and then the family of the dead woman, Halyna Hutchins. I picture they go, okay, you're going to do that? I'm going to do an ABC News special. Okay, well, I'm going to do a reality show and show that I have PTSD. Oh, really? Then I'm going to do an hour, 30-minute talk. Really? Well, I'm going to open up a New York City Planet Hollywood. Okay, well, I'm going to ask the judge for your diaries. It's strange, and calm the fuck down. There's no reason for a reality show so fast. I think it's to make the public like you, but again, give it time. Think about anything more egregious, and what solves it? Time. Even The Godfather, they go to Italy for a while. People forget.
Yeah.
God damn, it feels weird. Anyway, it's called Rust in the Story of Halyna. Last Take. That's the main title. Last Take. Get it? It was the last take. They could have said Rust in the short story of Halyna. And are they like, no, that'd be gauche. She wanted a shot at stardom. The movie was just all bad puns, right?
Exactly.
She was shot on set, but the wound could not be set. Coming up next, he didn't do it, or did he? No, it was done. I thought it was done very well. I was curious when this comes out, does Alec Baldwin watch it alone? Does he watch it with family? Does he watch it with his agents? Does he have his agent manager watch it and then tell him if he should watch it?
I think that's.
I'm curious about all that.
I'm curious about that for all documentaries.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thought right there.
There was a documentary I saw, and I usually don't get into docs, but I saw this one, Three Complete Strangers, something like that, and it was 3 kids were separated at birth, like Nazi shit, to study how they were being raised by different families, but real families.
Yeah.
Then they happen to find each other, and they go on to a little bit of commercial success doing triplet commercials and movies. But at the end of the movie, they're interviewing the old woman now, behind all of that evil shit, and she's trying to justify herself. Like, what?
Wait, was she at least like some type of like collegiate like professor?
I think
something?
she had a doctorate in like Mangala had a doctorate. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. At least it wasn't like just like random woman in middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, making that choice.
Right. Will you see this movie Rust when it comes out? They finished filming after all.
I guess. I don't even know. The thing is I know more about the shooting than what the movie is about.
So I don't know what the movie's about. No, but they did have a screening overseas, I guess, to feel it out, and apparently it went well. But the screening was just them wanting to go back to work, including the director, who was also shot, but he's okay. With the bullet went through her and hit him, but he didn't die. She of course did.
My God.
But everybody decides. Not Halyna's family, but everybody else decides, let's keep this going. And I can agree with that. If I got shot and died and my girlfriend put this one that thought she should know that I'd be fine with finishing this movie. And there's something about that art to me, like we're saying, where it's like, what if it is that fucking good and that's stuck in your head and you can't get it out? Do you rebrand it as an F1 movie? You know what I mean? So it's a Western, and I saw the poster before, and it's of a church in the middle of a desert. And then I watched this documentary. That's where the shooting happened, in that church. Do you change the poster? Or does the whole movie take place in a church? I don't know.
That's a tough call for marketing department.
But you know what? Whenever you see something like this happens, And then you see the movie, and it's never like, no, this was worth it. Like, do you remember? And this is a silly example comparatively, but who's that great actor that keeps changing his weight for different movies?
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. Christian Bale. Remember, he was like, it was a Terminator movie of all movies, and Terminator Salvation, and he's on set, and he goes, "You're just walking through my lighting." And by the way, he kept his American accent. He's English. So he wasn't really that angry, was he? So he's yelling, "Oh, don't the door, walking through. What if I just took your lights and smashed them?" He's like, the guy's like, "I'd rather you didn't do that." He's like, "You motherfucker, you smart ass piece of shit." So he goes crazy. Now I love Terminator, so I see this movie and I'm like, this is what you were yelling about? This movie is horrible. You're horrible, maybe because the part's horrible. But I know of a stunt guy. He died making a Fast and Furious movie. I see that movie. I'm like, it was so not worth it. So this movie's got to be good, or I'm gonna feel away. That's all.
Yeah, that's fair.
The movie ends because it's a Western, so there's horses in it, and it ends like no animals were hurt in the making of this. Oh shit! No horses or dogs were hurt in the making of this movie. Oh well. but I'm sure I'll see it. I'm sure I'll absolutely see it.
Yeah.
Oh well. How would a bullet get on set? So of course it looks like they were fucking around with guns. 6 bullets were found in different places on the set. One of them taking the substitute for a dummy round.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, would still fucking hurt. I have to assume.
Oh yeah, I would assume.
When I was in boot camp, you go into this barbed wire, and they had tracer bullets flying above you to see if you'd lose your shit. But if you stood up, that's still a fucking bullet, just the same.
That's intense, man. God damn. I know 100% I would not make it, man. I would not make it through boot camp.
I was able to make it through that shooting, of course, because like they're not going to try to kill me. I think there's laws, I think. But people really lost their shit. Like, oh my God, this is war. Oh shit. Oh well. I thought it was interesting, and obviously you got to do it because everybody's so superficial. But the armorer probably isn't a good look that on set. She was very punk. She had dyed hair, like, 2 tones, and a Punisher T-shirt. I'm like, oh, okay. Could that be good? Then when she's at court or being interrogated, the hair is one color, the cat eyes are gone, the nose piercings are gone. Yeah, I get it, but it's just funny. Hello, who's that in the video? She got, let's see. Some guy on set who was like her boss got 6 months probation. What the fuck could that mean? You cannot have accidental shootings for 6 months. Like, who cares? Okay. She got, what did she get? I think 18 months. Let's see here. Yeah, 18 months that started in April of last year. But maybe she'll get good behavior if she doesn't give anybody a shiv by accident, So that's, and then Alec Baldwin
she got jail time. 18 months?
Got 18 months. 18 months jail time. So probably half that, but yeah, she's in jail right now.
Wow.
I guess that's not half that, right? And Alec Baldwin was found free to go. And if I'm in jail, do I go, okay, accident, but hey, Alec, can I use one of your millionaire fucking lawyers? Aren't we? Remember when you said we're a family on day one? Remember that, Dad?
Gave that bullshit speech, I'm sure.
Right. Let's see here. A couple notes that I took real quick. Alec Baldwin's case was dismissed on missing evidence. So they had like bullets or some other kind of footage in the cops, whatever. It was missing all of a sudden. They had to dismiss the case. Some of that red tape bullshit. I don't know if that's a fucking trick or, a couple thousand got traded off somewhere, but it wouldn't surprise us, right?
Keith, you've given me a lot of information about this case, and
right.
I think I know what happened.
Right.
I think they got drunk the night before, Alec Baldwin included. They wanted to pop off some rounds. Mm-hmm. They did, and they put the guns back wrong, and they're letting the armorer take the fall and hurt people, but he was somehow involved in the madness.
I'll tell you, you just saved yourself an hour and a half. I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. So when they redoes the movie, though, when they redo the movie, I picture Alec Baldwin like making jokes like, watch yourselves around me. I'm kidding. All right, and action. Well, actually, we say action, Alec, but all right. I think the armorer called him Alex, and he's like, "Fuck her." The state of New Mexico ended up suing Rust, if you're curious, like what that meant for a jail time. OSHA got involved and found like extra footage or whatever and realized what was going on. And OSHA, the guys that got to teach you why you need somebody to hold your ladder when you climb it, they're like, finally, something with meat on it. Fuck you, FBI. We got something. We're not giving up. They're the guys that took care of this.
If I do one more ladder case,
right? Can you go up a tall ladder by yourself if you promise you're very, very careful? Yes, anytime I want. B, probably not. C, I would do the right thing. I don't know. I don't know. So here's what you want to do. You want to check out Skulk the Hulking on Instagram, and you also want to mark your calendar for the 27th. I think this is very interesting. It's trippy. It's smart. It's really about us while being fantasy. Congrats again.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
Anything else the audience should know?
Just, it'll be out on YouTube and Spotify, and, you can already look up Skulk the Hulk in there and follow to be ready for it, but give it a shot. That's all I'd say.
I'm fucking in. You ready for the paparazzi?
I mean, I am beautiful.
You got a big sheet to cover yourself when you got to go to the store and stuff?
That's only after I make my mistakes.
In this movie, Rust, they showed so people are hounding him like, hey, going by his house. Hey, tell me about the case, Alec Baldwin. And him and his wife thought it'd be, I don't know what, I guess to turn him off, but would put phone cameras on them, the paparazzi. And I'm like, add that footage. I'd like to see that. We didn't see that. You know what? If I was an Alec Baldwin, I think I would find out a paparazzi's names. And I don't think that's hard to do at all. They're on TMZ.
Yeah.
And stalk them. And I don't think they would find it funny. Like being on simple things like a date and all of a sudden paparazzi that you hire just keeps taking their pictures. I think that would make you look at what you're doing is a little creepy after all.
I think you're also assuming these paparazzi have dates.
Right, I guess so, right. It's like the movie Heat, right? If you're with a chick, you gotta let it all go. Exactly. This is Alec Baldwin and Hilaria, his wife, Hilaria, I guess, but with an H. She was in the news because apparently she puts on a Spanish accent, but she's not really full on Spanish, but she acts like she does, and she did like a cooking Instagram show, and she was like, what do you say? How do you say cucumber? And people are like, you fake piece of dog shit. So she seems fake. The whole family seems fake too. But anyway, promoting the reality show, Alec Baldwin is opening up a new New York City Planet Hollywood. This is them on the red carpet, and I thought that the dynamic was very interesting.
The Ilaria show.
No. So he's saying, the reality show, I think it's the Ilaria show. So it sounds like an insult, but all right.
The Ilaria show.
No, I think we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it feels to have it be out there.
This great. You're a winner.
Oh my God! When I'm talking, you're not talking.
Oh, sorry.
No, when I'm talking, you're not talking. This is why. Yes, we'll have to just cut him out of the show. No,
I'll play it again, but oh my God, it's so fucking good. So she, she's like, no, but anyway, we'll see if the public enjoys this reality show. And maybe he shouldn't have jumped in, but he wasn't saying anything bad. And he's like, she's great. You're going to like this show. And she goes, and she does the hand thing like you would do with children, like shut your mouth, like Pac-Man hands. And it's like, no, when I'm talking, you're not talking. When I'm talking, you're not talking. And then he's like, then he gives a look at the camera at first, like, can you fucking believe it? Which could be played off. But then you see him like, and it's completely fucking real. And then he tries to walk around her a little bit and tries to talk to other people, but the line is the red carpet line, whatever for Planet Hollywood is too backed up. It's so amazing.
The Ilaria show.
No, I think we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it feels to have it be out there.
This great. You're a winner.
Oh my God! When I'm talking, you're not talking.
Oh, sorry.
No, when I'm talking, you're not talking. This is why. Yes, we'll have to just cut him out of the show. No, I mean, I think this is a really raw show, and it's very real, and we took a lot of chances. And, I think that we'll see where it leads us. We'll see what it feels like to have it be out there, and then we'll see, if people like it.
We took a lot of chances. We acted like he had PTSD from the shooting, and so we're hoping Halyna's family doesn't come after us again. We just wanted the public to like us. Alec,
she's a winner. It's very Trumpian.
Right.
Say, you know?
She's a real winner. You shut your mouth. He grabs his sheet, puts it on. Oh, that's a hell of a dynamic. Anyway, thanks again for your time, man. It's very nice meeting you, Skulk.
Thank you so much for having me on, buddy.
There you go, everybody. Mr. the Hulking.